the whole
So
Rainbow Bridge. And then,
so
yeah, so that photo in the house, it's a cactus and a rock, or no?
well, it's I think it's called Indian paintbrush.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are in this barren canyon, and there's a log there, and right at the base of the log, there's beautiful flowers growing out of it. And to me, there was just enough nutrient and just enough moisture to nurture that seed that the wind or water deposited there to have life growing in such a desolate, remote, harsh climate. And you couldn't plant one in your yard and get it to grow if you nurtured it daily. And here this thing is out in nature doing just fine by itself. I was just amazed. And it's a pretty picture. But it impressed me so much to see how life can thrive in the desert. And that was my first desert trip, and after that I was hooked on desert country. Because it was so pretty and clean and peaceful.
Did that you say desert country, like, so did Saudi have any appeal for you in that respect?
Oh yeah. Well, you went on a trip or two.
Yeah, but when you decided to move to Saudi, was that part of the appeal, was the desert?
No,
Okay.
just strictly mercenary.
But you did appreciate the desert.
Good job with a good company.
You did appreciate the...
But while I was there, I really just appreciated the beauty of the desert, the solitude.
But back to that road trip, so how long did that road trip last?
Probably a week or 10 days.
Okay, so where'd you go after Rainbow Bridge?
We hiked out of there kind of nonstop, and drove to Durango, had lunch.
You drove from Rainbow Bridge in northern Arizona?
Yeah.
So you must have did you drive through Moab?
See, it's only about 165 miles from here to Kayenta.
So did you drive through Moab to get back?
No.
You drove through...
Moab's way north, we were way south.
So where did you drive through, do you remember?
We must have picked up... We must have gone south from Roosevelt Lodge and gotten on Route 160 and followed Route 160 to Durango.
Okay, so through Cortez and everything.
And then we picked up 550 north to get back to Aspen.
And that's when you ran out of fuel.
Yeah.
So we talk about that? Have we talked about that?
We've already covered that part of...
I'm not sure if we have.
I am.
Okay. And then up 550 through Silverton, Uray, Ridgeway, Montrose, Grand Junction, and then you got...
I don't know how we got to that. I don't know the route.
But you went back to Aspen, basically. You sort of did a loop and went back to Aspen?
Well, we got from Durango back to Aspen, period. So I don't know how we got there.
You started in Aspen and got back to Aspen?
Yeah.
Okay. And then...
Because at that point, Lars Larson had work he wanted me to do for him for the Forest Service, clearing trails and doing a little carpentry work in town, stuff like that. I remember I helped build bookshelves in one of the bookstores in Aspen.
Oh, really? I wonder if they're still there.
Me too, I don't know.
Yeah, what were some names of businesses that you worked at in Aspen?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have any businesses I worked for. I worked for Lars.
Oh, okay. And then...
And he would, he had a good reputation as an all-around good guy, and so he'd take work he could get wherever he could get it.
And when was this road trip? What month? Oh, you said May.
The road trip was in May.
May, right. So what did you do after the road trip?
Went back to Aspen.
And worked there for a bit?
Yeah, for the summer.
For the summer? For Lars?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Carpentry work and clearing trails. Trail maintenance work for the Forest Service.
And then after that?
After that, I just don't remember clearly how I ended up.
Denver, right?
Yeah. But it just dawned on me that You know, I didn't want the lifestyle of somebody living hand to mouth in the mountains.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
I had too much education and too much experience at that point. Even in the military, it was valuable experience
Mm-hmm.
to be satisfied with, just doing hand to mouth and going camping a lot.
Yeah. I guess one thing we talked about was Wyoming. Like, I don't know, what was it like being a father for the first time?
Oh wow, that was a joyous occasion, really.
Yeah.
It was just a huge workload and a huge blessing to be balanced in a new responsibility and
Mm-hmm.
new sense of pride and just babies are fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it does include you too, to nurture a child and see him grow and develop. Really neat experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Mom and I were both working our butts off at the same time.
Do you remember like going to the hospital and like driving back with the baby? Was that a weird experience, or
I don't. Oh yeah.
suddenly got a new person?
But I don't. We were both busy taking care of the baby and the house and work and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember the specifics of bringing Michael home.
Was it really like a cold day? Was it really snowing or anything? No.
Well, it's January, early
Oh.
January, so it was a normal early January in Wyoming day, windy and cold.
Yeah.
But it was normal.
It wasn't like a brutal winter day.
Well, let's put it this way: I've got bragging rights to 3 Wyoming winters.
Mm-hmm. I sort of imagine it just super snowy and icy and getting to the hospital and it being this big ordeal, but I guess it wasn't that bad.
No,
They have chains in the tires?
no,
4-wheel drive?
no. But it's so cold in the wintertime there that the snow gives you traction.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just like sand.
What about car trouble? Like just getting the car started?
I don't remember having car trouble, but a lot of times we would jump other people's cars in our own.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that a Volkswagen is an extremely reliable car. We had a Volkswagen and a little Datsun that we had, and the Volkswagen would always start,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what the weather. And if once we got that one running, we could jump start any other vehicle that needed it.
Do you remember what Michael was like as a baby? Anything you really kind of that stands out in your mind?
He was just a happy kid. We both, Mom and I both gave him a lot of attention,
Mm-hmm.
and made sure he had a happy childhood.
Mm-hmm.
You guys too, not so much as Michael, but because, believe me, 2 infants the same age at the same time is a real act of timing.
Yeah, I can't. I think now I think of it as kind of a double-edged sword. I think 'cause in some ways it's cool being a twin, but I think in other ways that I think it has a unique set of challenges for both twins. So that's, yeah. How were the first few years in Kentucky? Were there things that you liked about Kentucky, things you didn't like, or?
Mom and I realized early on that we didn't really belong there, and I think it's a matter of culture as much as anything else. My culture didn't, as as literally a bush pilot flying the Rocky Mountains and the Wyoming mountains and deserts and stuff. I had a totally different mindset from people flying in the clouds in the East Coast weather and the East Coast traffic and stuff. I was much more focused on navigation and weather hazards than they were. They were more focused on just driving a machine through traffic to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
You want to join us or?
No, I want to